You should put the show.
I am Paige.
I'm Leah.
I'm Jing.
I'm Kyrie.
I'm Taylor.
And you're listening to Radiohead.
I am Paige.
I'm Leah.
I'm Jing.
I'm Kyrie.
Alright, today's March 13, 2013, and today on the Radioheads, you're going to be hearing a lot of interesting news, and we're going to be starting off with Taylor about a man being arrested after entering an airport with a loaded gun, and a New Orleans teacher vanishing.
Actually, it's a police station, not an airport.
I'm sorry.
So a man named Sadat Jones walked into the 4th Precinct Station House Monday night. Officers immediately smelled marijuana when he walked in because he was carrying some. And when the police went towards him, he tried running away, but of course he was captured because he was in a police station. And apparently Jones walked in with a woman who was reporting a missing child, but was also immediately suspicious when the strong odor of marijuana was coming from his jacket. And the police then discovered, post to capturing him, that he was carrying a loaded .38 caliber revolver, and he was arrested with unlawful possession of a weapon. And it was weird that this man walked into a police station knowing he was carrying these illegal things, but I guess people are crazy, and at least another gun was taken off the streets that day.
Wow, so he just walked into a police station with the scent of marijuana on him and a loaded gun.
Yep.
Wow. Alright, so tell us about your second story.
Okay, my second story is about a teacher in New Orleans who vanished without a trace, and her name was Monette, and she was a teacher originally from California that took advantage of the Teach NOLA program, which was a program that sent teachers and educators to New Orleans to teach underprivileged. And she packed her bags and was excited to be helping educate in places that needed it most. And because she was so dedicated and performed so well, she was awarded a Teacher of the Year nomination for her district. But unexpectedly she vanished one night after she was seen with her friends at a bar, and it impacted her family, including her mother, who actually talked to reporters about it, saying how much she missed her and how worried she was. And her disappearance happened over 2 weeks ago, and as each day passes, her family's anxiety grows, and several police searches have went out to find her in New Orleans, but she hasn't been spotted. And she was last seen on March 2nd in the bar, and the bartender at the bar actually told reporters that she had to cut her off because she was drinking too much and she was like wasted. And she was also seen talking to an unidentified man outside, so nobody knows what happened to her. She could have been taken by the man.
So, wait, are like the friends that she were with, do they have like any connections? Like, were any of them sober enough to like drive her home?
It didn't say anything about that. The article that I read.
So she just went to a bar and she disappeared.
Yeah.
Pretty mysterious.
Yeah, and she had made a video in 2011 saying how much she loved teaching and how much she enjoyed New Orleans, but then she just vanished. So, I mean, you would think something bad happened to her, because who would just vanish like that, doing something that they love? I don't understand.
Alright. Well, the second person who will be talking today is going to be Kyrie about basketball news. Go ahead, Kyrie.
The Miami Heat is on fire. After beating the Atlanta Hawks 98-81, they are up to their 19th straight win. Dwayne Wade scored 23 points while LeBron James scored 15. However, they're not letting this win streak go to their heads. James said, "Let's be honest, guys. We're not just sitting here and saying this is not something special. This is an unbelievable streak they were on." Now they go to their 20th straight win tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time against the Philadelphia 76ers. Stay tuned for more updates.
Oh, so 19th win?
19th.
I remember when they were on their 10th win, and I was like, oh, it's probably going to end soon. But it's at 19 right now?
Yep.
Wow. All right, any other thoughts on that? Do you have anything else to say, Kyrie?
Yes. In more good news, the Los Angeles Lakers beat the Orlando Magic, mainly thanks to Dwight Howard. They were behind by 25, but he scored a whopping 39 points with 16 rebounds and 3 block shots. A modest Howard said, "I just treat it as another day, another game."
I'm loving your secondary voice for for how the basketball players sound like.
I try with these accents sometimes.
Well, thank you then. Alright, on with our third person is Aaliyah talking about a cannibal cop and a mother allowing her toddler to do a bong hit. Alright, Aaliyah.
Okay, so yesterday, March 12th, Gilberto Valle, a New York police officer, was found guilty on the count of conspiring to abduct, cook, and eat women, and also for illegally accessing a federal law enforcement database. Valle was trained to use and was allowed to access this federal law database, and it actually assisted in his cannibalistic plots by helping him research potential victims. Gilberto Valle had 3 co-conspirators that he communicated with via email. He met them on a site meant for connecting people with similar dark interests. They went by the names Moody Blues, Chris Collins, and Meat Market Man. Their true identities, however, are unknown, and the police have not showed any interest to pursue them. On Tuesday, prosecutors pulled up the history stored on Gilberto Valle's internet browser in court. His searches included how to chloroform women and how to tie people up. Prosecutors also pulled up tangible, detailed plans initially discovered by Valle's wife, Kathleen Mangan, that Valle had on his laptop. In his plans, entitled Abducting and Cooking Kimberly, a blueprint, he included the potential victim's picture, her personal information, and all of the materials needed. There was, however, discrepancy in this information, as some information, such as her last name, education, date of birth, and such, were inaccurate. His defense attorney, Julia Gatto, argued Valle's conduct was pure fiction and make-believe. However, he now faces up to life in prison. And this case was particularly interesting because they arrested him based on his thoughts. His lawyer branded this outcome a thought prosecution that sets a dangerous precedent, while federal prosecutors said the verdict proved that Valle crossed the line from fantasy to reality, was generally bent on committing grotesque crimes. His defendant, Julia Gatto, also said, this is a dangerous prosecution when we start opening up our minds and prosecuting what's inside our brains and not in the real world. Yep.
Wow.
So what do you guys think about being arrested?
Cannibalism. This is ridiculous. I mean, why would anybody want to?
But he didn't eat them yet.
Yeah,
like,
no, he was arrested solely
yet.
based on fantasy.
And he clearly needed help.
But I think there's a difference between imagining something and using your imagination and drawing a picture, and this, which is eating somebody. And I think that it's very serious, and he should be in prison because.
But being put in prison won't help him. When you have sick people, you don't just throw them in prison. You give them
But sometimes you can't
you
help
put them in a
people
mental
like that.
institution.
Exactly.
Sometimes you can't help people that want to eat others.
What if he eats people in prison?
Well, come on. Why would anybody ever want to eat another human? That's sick.
Maybe
because they feel like it.
Maybe they were abused. They could have been abused as a child.
But how would that make you
And that triggers the cannibalism.
It could. Anything can. That's where most mass murderers come from. Like Hitler, he was abused as a child.
That's true.
Oh.
But he didn't eat people. That's crazy.
But what?
Alright.
The Van the Third, Dracula. What was his name?
Oh yeah, Vlad the Third.
Vlad the Third.
Yeah.
He drank people's blood, and he was abused. I think.
That's true.
So, he was sort of a cannibal.
Alright. Well, Aaliyah, you have another news story for us, right?
Yes, I do. This one is pretty short, as it was recent. It happened today, or was reported on today. A mom allegedly lets her toddler do bong. Yes. So a Washington mother was accused of letting her 22-month-old toddler smoke marijuana from a bong. Police received cell phone video from an anonymous source of a child taking what appeared to be a bong hit while his mother, identified as Rachel L. Bratton, 24-year-old of Centralia, Washington, held the pipe. And when the police went to the couple's home, they found 30 to 40 marijuana plants, as well as firearms. So now his father, Tyler J. Lee, 25-year-old, was accused of unlawful possession of a firearm and manufacturing marijuana. The woman is also accused of unlawful delivery of a controlled substance to a minor, as well as manufacturing marijuana. And now the boy and another child were taken into state custody after the arrests.
Well, there goes my hope in humanity.
Are you sure that was true?
It's true. Yes. Sounds weird, though.
The child could have died or something. I mean, you're inhaling that thing at 22 months old.
I mean, well, technically, marijuana is pretty, it can be healthy. It's all natural.
Could be. Because it grows in the ground.
Yeah, it grows in the ground.
But the poor child probably thought it was some food.
Candy.
Food? Food that you inhale.
What does he know? He's like 1.5.
Yeah.
Poor thing.
Alright, well now, I'm going to be talking about Bloomberg's view on obesity and a mother selling her kids. Alright. Well, Bloomberg argued that his administration banned big sodas because the federal and state government are not doing anything to fight obesity. So he said that the judge who struck down the ban was 100% wrong. Mayor Bloomberg held a large cup as he spoke about the health impacts of sugar at Lucky's restaurant, which voluntarily adopted the big soda ban. Mayor Bloomberg warned the cost of treating obesity is going to bury all of us on Wednesday as he continued to defend his proposed big soda ban. We think the judge is 100% wrong, Bloomberg said, before making his case for putting limits on sugary drinks over 16 ounces. Manhattan Supreme Court Justice Milton Tingling struck down the ban on Monday, calling it arbitrary and capricious. Most people will die from overeating and then starvation, Bloomberg followed on Wednesday morning, adding that obesity has gone from a rich person's disease to a poor people's disease. He argued that his administration was forced to act because the federal and state government have not taken steps to fight the problem. The truth of the matter is no one else is doing anything about it, he said. He got a vote and support from Chicago Mayor Rahm Emanuel, who appeared on Morning Joe with Bloomberg and other mayors to talk about the urban challenges. We have a different approach, but Mike and I share the same goals, Emanuel said, arguing that health care costs will eventually swamp the country. I think that Mike is going to win this case, he said. Bloomberg stressed that rather than trying to ban large drinks, the regulation was intended to make people think about the amount they're consuming. He said, if you want 32 ounces, just take 2 cups then. So how do you guys feel about the potential no large sodas sold at...
I think once you can't just take something away from people. I mean, marijuana is illegal, but people still find a way to get it. And I know the U.S. tried to ban alcohol a really long time ago, and people still got it, so they had to legalize it because, I mean, people are going to drink no matter what anybody says, no matter how much power the government thinks they have.
I don't know. I don't really think it would help anyway, because if you just ban sugary drinks and large soda portions, there are other things that can also add to obesity rather than just that. So I don't know. Plus, I had no idea where I was going with that sentence. I just got cut off.
I think the government's trying to control too much of the American people.
I mean, I see what they're trying to do and try to cut down obesity because the U.S. is really fat.
It's the home of obesity.
Yeah, because of all the fast food restaurants. But, I mean, you've already given us all of that, so you can't just take it away because people are going to find a way to get it. Like, once you introduce something.
Or they might find another alternative.
Yeah, but come on, that's not going to happen.
It might.
It could.
Well, maybe. But it'd take a lot of work.
Alright, well, I have another story. An Oklahoma mother was arrested last week after she allegedly tried to sell her children online. Police say that Misty Van Horn attempted to sell her kids on Facebook, possibly to cover the bond money she needed to get her boyfriend out of jail. Van Horn evidently contacted a female acquaintance through the social networking site or Facebook, offering to trade her 2-year-old and 10-month-old for $4,000. Van Horn also agreed to accept $1,000 for the 2-year-old alone, the Oklahoman notes. According to the police report, Van Horn's Facebook message read, "Just come to Salislaw. It's only 30 minutes away, and I'll give you all of her stuff and let y'all have her forever for $1,000. One of Van Horn's neighbors, Tony Mosby, said that the 22-year-old also sought out money from area residents to pay her boyfriend's bail. She was going door to door, here to all the way across town, asking everybody for money to get him out, Mosby told the local station. Van Horn was taken into custody Wednesday after an Arkansas woman to whom Van Horn made the offer contacted Oklahoma Department of Human Services. Van Horn is being held at Sequoia County Jail on a $40,000 bond since her booking of the charge of trafficking minors. Both of Van Horn's kids have been taken into state custody.
Well, obviously this woman shouldn't be a mother.
Yeah. And she obviously had some mental problems. How do you put a price on your child? Like,
I mean, that's almost like slave trading, but
yeah.
of course the kids aren't slaves. But, I mean, that's illegal, so you can't do that.
And it was
don't sell your
to
children.
bail her boyfriend out.
She's crazy. She should be in a mental hospital.
But she's in prison, right?
Yeah, she can rot in prison for even having a thought.
Wow.
Well, this was all to free her boyfriend, but you know what they say. If you can't do the time, don't do the crime.
But I don't even think she thought that it was a crime.
Yeah.
She just wanted to sell her kids.
She's like, oh, alright, I need to bail my boyfriend out, so, you know, I'm gonna sell my kids.
I mean, robbing a bank probably would have been a better idea.
Really? Alright, well, with our fifth story is Paige talking about Justin Bieber. Alright, Paige, go ahead.
Okay. Justin Drew Bieber was born on March 1st, 1994 in London, Ontario. Growing up, Justin always had an interest in music and showed signs of musical talent early in his life. Justin's mother, Patty, posted his performances on talent shows like YouTube and clips of him singing at home for their family and friends to see. Patty continued to upload those videos of Justin singing covers of various R&B songs, and his popularity on the site grew. While searching for videos of a different singer, Scooter Braun, former marketing executive of So So Def, clicked on one of Justin's videos by accident. And impressed, Braun contacted Patty to fly Justin out to Atlanta, Georgia, to record demo tapes. A week after arriving, Justin sang for the R&B singer/songwriter Usher, and Justin was quickly signed to Raymond Braun Media Group. Justin and his mother moved to Atlanta, and Braun became his manager. His career as a recording artist began soon after that. Recently, as hit the billboards with his new album, Believe, Justin has been criticized in the past for his music by many. Most of his fans were generalized to be teen girls. However, various non-fans have recently listened and loved Justin's song from his new album. In fact, one even tweeted via MTV, "Not gonna lie, Justin Bieber's new acoustic album is perfect. Personally, I believe Justin should stick to acoustic and pop rather than rap, as he has tried to do in the past." Another tweet about the album, again found via MTV, was sent in by ILY Carly saying, "Okay, I don't even like Justin Bieber out. This acoustic album is pretty perfect." Here, and one of these album songs included "As Long as You Love Me," which is now in its acoustic version.
Cool.
Yeah.
You literally just gave us most of his life story, which I don't. Not saying I listen to Justin Bieber, but I don't know. I don't know if it's just because of social opinion, but I don't really like his music. I don't know. It just doesn't sound good. But of course, that could just be me and other millions of haters.
We got it.
All right. Well, that's all for what we have for you guys today. Thank you for listening to the Radiohead. Yeah. Bye.